Hello guys, this is Terry from Yokai Gaming TV coming back at you with another Yokai Watch Shadowside episode review. Today's episode is 32, The Life-Eating Jorogumo, or Inochio Kurao Jorogumo. This episode has so much stuff in it, but we're gonna start with the one and only Genbu. And Genbu is Toma's newest power-up, acquired in episode 31. He's the guy with the axe. So basically what went on is Genbu was actually, I won't say hesitant, whenever Toma transformed into him. Maybe the word resistant might be a little bit better. He seemed like he was testing the waters with his movement at first. He did one small little axe strike, and he noticed that his axe didn't cause any damage whatsoever to the web. So he basically jumps up into the air, powers up his axe, and does a big attack involving water. And the water basically creates a larger version of the axe for his attack. And basically what goes on is he cuts through some of the web that is around the entryway of the building. Like, I'm guessing it's the entire front side of the building because of how the building is situated. So he basically shreds through the web with that attack. And Jorogumo is not pleased, or Arachnia is not pleased with this at all. And after this attack, Genbu kind of dissipates to a certain degree. They imply that he has to recharge his energy, or he used a lot of energy with that one attack. With that in mind, he is definitely a powerhouse yokai. If we had to give like non-Yokai Watch terminology for him, I would have to say he might be brave or slippery if you base it off of the normal yokai tribes, because they've not really classified him as of yet in which Shadowside tribe him and the rest of the Kinbu Manchins are in. But let's go on. Natsume summoned Shadowside Jibanya and Shadowside Koma-san. Michi is there as well, G10, and Whisper. And Toma and Akinori also charge into the building with Natsume. Natsume tells Keisuke, "You go hide somewhere. I don't want you to get hurt." They get into the building, and Jorogumo, or Arachnia, uses the people she has in there who are like confined by her thread or her silk, kind of making them act a little bit like zombies. But basically what goes on is Michi beam. Michi basically laser beams them, petrifying them. And he keeps doing this for a while to clear the path for Natsume, Toma, Akinori, and Shadowside Jibanyan, and Koma-san, and also G10 and Whisper, even though Whisper doesn't do anything worth even mentioning in this episode. But as this is all going on, Doketsu and Haruya, Shudendoji, start to get up and kind of move around, shake off the fatigue of being trapped in the web. And basically, our yokai detective agency is actually going to try to save those guys, like pull them out of the building so that they're not in a kind of crappy situation. So as this is all really going on, Jorogumo / Arachnia sees Keisuke, and she's like, oh, a kid. He could be useful. He could be a good plot device. So she, I don't think we see it, but she shoots a string or a thread or a tendril of her silk down there, captures him. But everything transitions whenever our detective agency team gets up to the top of the building. And basically what occurs is Toma goes Fudomio 10. We have Shadowside Jibanyan, Shadowside Koma-san, and Michi is not back in the action yet because he's dealing with the thread zombies or the spider silk zombies. But as everything's starting to move into action, Koma-san and Jibanyan both attack Jorogumo, and their attacks are kind of easily reflected by her shield. I guess that goes to say a lot about her situation, and if she gets going, Jorogumo can pretty much counter pretty much any attack. Fudomio 10 attacks, and it doesn't do what it needs to do. Then she shoots her string or thread or spider silk at them, kind of confining them. And Fudomio is actually able to dodge some of them and is actually able to protect himself from a tiny bit of the thread, but is eventually captured by it, like Jibanyan and our buddy Koma-san. And it's funny how Komajiro wasn't summoned. I feel like that's a plot hole, because you would figure they would want all of their most powerful fighters. But as this is going on, Natsume gets an idea to use G10, because there's a EK man on a sign, and there's also a thing of wasabi. So she kind of baits Jorogumo or Arachnia into thinking that G10 is a pretty boy, is a EK man. So she shoots her thread down and brings up the EK man guy that she doesn't know is actually G10. And she's like, what is your name? Or tell me your name, or something to that extent. And she says a couple other little things, but then G10's like, I am G10. And then G10 turns into a tube of wasabi, sprays her in the face, allowing Jibanyan, Koma-san, and Fudomio 10 to have a chance to attack. The attack really doesn't do nearly enough damage, and what has happened, or what happens next, is both Koma-san and Jibanyan are kind of knocked back a little bit, and Fudomio 10 has spider thread or silk wrapped around him, slowly siphoning power. And while we're talking about this little scene, I want to bring up a theory. I feel like what she's doing is she's draining the life force and the energy out of it. Not necessarily their strength, but by manipulating their life force or their energy, it can cause a dissonance effect in the Yokai Watch universe. Basically, by manipulating Fudomio 10, you could cause something to happen with the original Fudomio, and it could cause other things to occur within the Emma tribe, because Fudomio and the other Kimbu Manjin are loosely related to the Enma tribe, at least from what we're seeing here thus far and what the wiki implies. So, the reason I brought this up is I'm setting up Fudomio Boy, who just kind of appears out of a poof of light after basically what happened was Toma became Toma again. Fudomio 10 disappeared. and Fudomio Boy showed up somewhere else in like a small flash of light. And Fudomio Boy likes the name Fudomio Boy, and we have a silly scene about that. And then Fudomio Boy does some haymakers to Jorogumo, basically unloading on Jorogumo. Like, she looked at him and said, "Tisk, it's just a little boy," or something like that, and the haymaker hits her. I believe this is when Keisuke is dropped and Jibanyan catches him, and Arachnia, or Jorogumo, is knocked down into a hole. And as Fudomio Boy is getting ready to finish her off, he decides it is nap time. Because by anime logic, if you're a kid and you've not had caffeine or sugar or energy, or even a cookie, you decide you need nap time halfway into a battle. Thanks, anime logic. It could have been ended here, but that wouldn't have allowed us to see something even greater. Basically, with Fudomio Boy napping, Toma unable to use Fudomio 10, and Gimbu being on lockdown or re-energizing, and with Suzaku not being the best option for this fight, and with just having Jibanyan and Koma-san here, their options were rather limited. And then Shuden Doji and Doketsu appear. Well, it's technically Haruya, but Haruya finally reveals that he's Shuden Doji. Doketsu tries to break the shield with a sword slash. It does nothing. So Jorogumo Arachnia shoots a thread or a silk tendril at them. Shuden Doji catches it, and his dark energy decays it. And there's a little bit of a fight that basically is going on between Shuden Doji and Arachnia. He basically uses his hand to basically cut crescents, like two crescent-looking shapes of energy, and slashes them at her. And those slashing crescents slice and dice Jorogumo's legs off, and slice across her torso as well a little bit, causing her to drop down to the ground. And as Haruya's getting ready to... Shuden Doji, I should be saying, is getting ready to finish her off, she catapults herself with string, or with her thread, causing her to temporarily escape. Then you see a free-falling Michi who uses Michi Beam on Jorogumo or Arachnia, and then he takes the little statue of Arachnia or Jorogumo back to Natsume and then smashes it like right at his feet, showing her how good Michi can actually be. Michi's had a lot of good scenes this episode. I like that the Michi beam is actually being used and not just like ignored because it's an actual attack. Because sometimes Michi is more of a comedy device rather than a true fighter. But as this is all going on, Toma tries to catch up with Haruya and Doketsu and basically say, "Hey, do you guys have a moment? Can we talk?" And they blow him off. They're like, "No, we have things to do," is what was implied. And they go off. They basically go back to the cherry blossom tree or the sakura tree, and they wonder, what exactly is Hime? Is Hime a person? Is Hime a yokai? This is just applied in the subtext of their little conversation. They're basically implying, we have no idea what Hime is. You were just looking for someone who could bloom this tree. That if they have that much power, that it is Hime. But no, we're transitioning back to Ayame-san. She's feeling better, and Akinori is finally gonna say he likes her. Or at least that is what we think. We see Natsume and Jiten peeking from around the corner, and then Michi ruins everything, and bust into the room and said, "It was I, the great Michi, that defeated Arachnia, or Jorogumo." And Ayame-san is happy, and Akinori is crying and angry at the same time. He probably wanted to say, "You baka." I was about ready to say, "I like her," but he couldn't say it because his timing was ruined. But as far as we see here, Natsume is team Akihime, along with Jitan. And if you guys haven't been able to tell it, it seems like Jitan has been developing a little bit more of a respect for Akinori, which is good. The sound design of this episode was really great, as well as the character animation and the emoting of everyone. Even Toma emoted well, and I'm pretty sure Toma is emotionless for the most part. But they actually had him emote, kind of being worried, not nearly as well as an emote as what Natsume did when she saw Keisuke just kind of hanging there. But they're working on it, and I'm proud of them for actually letting people emote, because a lot of shows handle emoting incorrectly, and it's kind of sad. But anime is getting better at doing that. And that's been it for this episode review. I want to thank you all for taking the time to chill out with me and listen to the review. If you like the review, please like it, and feel free to comment down below what you think might happen next, or what you would like to see, because I'm surely interested in knowing what you guys are wanting to see next in the world of Shadowside. I'm out. You guys have yourselves a wonderful morning, afternoon, and or evening. Bye bye.